Hey folks, and welcome to the H&M Show. My name is Michael, and Heather is missing again. Oh, there's the gong. That lets you know the show is ready to go. Heather is out of here. I don't know where she is. I hope y'all can hear me. Usually everybody leaves a comment saying, yeah, we can hear you. No, we can't hear you, that kind of stuff. So, every week, Heather always asks me, she says, what does the H&M stand for? And this week it stands for HTML, okay, and mapping. I have no idea why mapping, but I just figured I had to get an H and an M in here. But anyway, the HTML does make a little bit of sense because we're talking about websites, which brings me to our guest. And let me just show real quick a screen share of his website. This is Chris Heidelbaugh. I think I got it right. Did I say it right? Just say yes or no.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good. All right, I did say it right. This is Chris. And Chris, say hello to everyone. You are now live with us.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to be here, and hopefully, please ask as many questions as you want. And we got some specials, giveaways, and if you're watching this on the replay too, I mean, we're gonna have some great stuff going on. So definitely, thank you for being live here. We're just having an amazing show. Awesome.
That is so cool. Yes, I've been looking forward to it. I finally found somebody that can talk as much as I do. Chris and I, we met earlier this week. It was so fun because we were just so back and forth, and we had a great conversation. So I am so thankful that you even came on, because like you, and what I found out about you just in talking to you that I can tell is you like helping people, just like I like helping people. And you know what? As far as I can tell, you're very generous in that way, and I really do appreciate that about you. So I am looking so forward to this. What I'm going to do, and here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to kick this off, folks. Like he said, ask any questions you want. If you want to go, he already saw some of the pre-questions, but if you have questions as we're going along, feel free to ask those, because if they're pertinent, I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to put them up on screen and make sure that you guys get recognized. Real quick, I'm going to bring you folks up on screen right now, because I want to go ahead and I just want to recognize who came tonight. So we got Andrew out there, Bill from Belize. And Bill, awesome to see you. Nina, that is awesome that you came, young lady, all the way, I believe, and you'll have to correct me, I'm sure, but I think it's somewhere over there in Europe or somewhere in that area. But that's awesome that you're even here. Miss Sheila Hensley's here tonight. And then we have William Rock, who's our guest next week, and we'll talk about that a little later. Good to see you, William. Mark Barris is here. Mark, always great to see you too, coming to us from California. And then we have Ross Bounty. How about Ross Bounty is all the way from Australia. She's tuned in, so I know it's a different time there. And then we have Lowell Ann in from, I believe, up in Canada. I don't know which part. I know it's Pacific. That's all I know. So anyway, that's all the people. So you got a good audience here tonight.
No, it's definitely a blessing. I appreciate it.
Well, there you go. All right, let's get right into it, folks, because he's got a lot to share with us, and he's got a cool little thing at the end he's going to go over, and I'm going to let him offer that up. Oh, we got Zara Altair is also here. I always like to mention, I love to recognize people, because these are my viewers. These are people that want to see something and watch and that kind of thing. So I always like to recognize anybody that comes in. So anybody that comes in, we will introduce you or say hey to you. I always do that, try and make a point.
Absolutely.
So let's kick right into it. What we're going to do that. And remember, folks, after the show, at the end, when the very end, any community members, if you're a community member of ours, it's a paid for community. It's about $10 a month. If you're a paid for member, and in the description, it'll show you how to sign up to do that. You're welcome to come in. Those existing members are welcome to come in and talk to Chris afterwards. So we will bring you in to do that, and he has agreed to do that. So it's awesome. Anyway, all right. I'm going to try and shut up for a little bit. Okay, Vancouver Island. Thank you very much, Lowell. There you go. South Australia is Ross Bounty. Everybody's giving me geographical stuff, so there we go. It's all you. I'm going to go ahead and screen share right now. Right now, you are seeing Chris's. What are they seeing? Talk to them.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for everybody. And definitely thank you for Michael, and wish Heather was here too. But, thank you so much for, being here and listening and giving me the opportunity. So basically, what I tell people, my little pitch, if I was in an elevator, is my name's Chris Heidelbaugh, and I teach digital marketing to DIYers. So basically, if you're somebody who's building a website yourself, you're somebody who's running a small business, maybe you're trying to do a personal blog, you're doing something for work, and maybe you just, you need a little bit of help, and it's something where I like being accessible to people. So with building YouTube, this is a new channel for me. So this year I'm very excited that, to just answer people's questions through video. It's a great medium to be able to do this. A little bit about me. For the last 20 years, I've been building websites. I started out with using Dreamweaver, then went to Microsoft Front Page, and now I exclusively work with WordPress. For me, I'm a kind of a tech geek. I teach college classes. I teach cybersecurity here in Colorado. So I teach people how to hack and how not to get hacked. But I also own my own digital marketing agency here in Colorado. But I'm also a solopreneur. So a lot of people where they might have, large businesses, for me, I do this all myself. And so when I learn by, trial and error, I break a lot of stuff and I fix a lot of stuff. So it works out very good. So for me, I may not have the answers to everything, but it's kind of like the 80-20% rule thing. I know 80% of stuff or the 20% that's going to help me with 80% of the stuff that comes up, so, real quick, I'm gonna spill the beans. I got 2 surprises tonight for you. Okay. And I told Michael when I talked a few days ago, it's like, for me, I'm coming to his house. It's like, I want to bring the potato salad. We're having a barbecue and a picnic here. I'm bringing the potato salad. So what we're going to do is in the description.
And I have to let me just interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
When you talk about food, I just love food. So I was totally sold when you did say that. So
it was a good analogy. It worked out great. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So absolutely. Yeah. So basically in the description of this video or the live show here, you see an opportunity to sign up for the community. If you're not a community member, go ahead and do this, because at least when I come on, and hopefully I'll be blessed and come back again, is if you stick around afterwards, we're going to do website evaluations if you want to. So if you stick around, you say, Chris, I'm having problems with my website. Can you give me some tips? We can look at a lot of different things. It could be page speed. It could be if your website's mobile friendly, we can look at some errors, different things like that. And I definitely want you to stick around for that. So if you're not a community member, go ahead and sign up now. It's very inexpensive, and you can definitely have access for that. And stick around to the very end of this video, because I have an amazing surprise for you that you're going to want to stick around for. So let me get started in my little spill here. So basically here I am on my YouTube channel. So it's just, basically, again, I teach digital marketing to DIYers. I have just, a few videos I just popped up this year. Very blessed to have 58 subscribers. Everyone matters to me. But I use this as a tool to explain to people a little bit what I do in my industry, because I do SEO and I do website design and I do things like that. And a lot of people come to me and they say, well, Chris, I need a magic pill. I need to get my website found online or this, that, and the other. And there is no magic pill. And I tell people, it doesn't matter how big of an agency you are. I don't believe there's anything that anybody can do that you cannot do yourself. And that's why I want to be available to you. So if you have questions, if you have anything, that's exactly what, I want to help you with. So you can, I started this a few weeks ago. I did a live show. So I was, Saturday nights at 9 p.m. I wanted to do live, come on, we'll help with your website. But as we get going, I'm going to bring this back. And so if you say, Chris, I need something right away, can you help me? You can always go to my website. And that is over here at chrisheidelbaugh.com. And, just basically my website, just my consulting website. You can even call me. I put my phone number live. I don't care. Call me at 2:00 in the morning. If I answer it, then I'll help you. So it works out pretty good. So, but enough about me. Let's talk about WordPress. Okay. So WordPress is a great tool because the thing is
hey, Chris,
DIY.
Real quick. I just want to interject. Those of you that are watching, I do want you to subscribe to his channel if you feel like it's helpful. I mean, the guy helps just like I do. And a lot of you have subscribed to me. Go out there today, go ahead and subscribe to him if you feel like any of this is useful or it sounds good. Please do that. That's one thing that how we reciprocate to each other. I subscribed to him, he subscribed to me, then I asked him to come on my show and he's like, wow, okay, great. So please, we want to do that back and forth.
Absolutely. Sure. And in full disclosure, it's one of those things where, just being realistic, a lot of times when you're a YouTuber, some YouTubers won't even talk to you if you have, I have 58 subscribers, and it's just, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But Michael has such a huge heart, such a kind guy, and so he doesn't look at numbers. It's not like, hey, you got to have this many numbers. He looks at the benefit for you guys, the community. It's not about how many numbers you have; it's about helping his community. And so thank you, truly. So again, we're talking about WordPress a little bit, and a lot of people are like, well, how do I get WordPress? Or what is WordPress to begin with? And WordPress is a CMS, or considered a content management system. So basically, you kind of have a dashboard. You can kind of go in, you can change all the things for your website compared to doing standard HTML. Now, granted, some of you might be web developers yourself, and you might, code with Dreamweaver, and you might argue against my theory on this, but in the past, if you're going to change something, you'd have to go page by page. You'd have to do certain things. Now, granted, you could go into your files, like your style sheets. You might be able to change a font color or something and change it site wide. But with WordPress, it's really kind of like a what you see is what you get kind of editor for the most part. You can go in, there's page builders. You can build a website. You can do it yourself. And the reason why this is nice is because even when I work with clients, like I'll build them a website or I'll do it, help them, consult them. When you build a website, it's important because a website's your new business card, right? I mean, a lot of people may not even have a business card anymore. They're like, hey, how do I find out about you? And like, oh, visit me over at, chrisheidelbaugh.com kind of thing,
Right.
And so it's the same concept where you'll tell somebody, hey, visit me at, 123plumbing.com. Instead of having to hand out a business card. It just works so much easier. So in today's day and age, you really need a website. Even if it's, we were talking about this before the show with Michael, is even if you get a domain name, that's just your name, okay? So for an example, William Rock in here, maybe go by William Rock, whatever. Say you have your domain name, okay? And it's just a one-page website that says, hey, it's your resume, okay? So it's your resume on a one-page website, because if an employer goes to hire you, there's a good chance that they're going to Google your name, right? And again, maybe you're into Facebook, Twitter, whatever, you might pop up, but a lot of times your personal website will come up. So why not tell the employers what you're about, right? So if you go ahead and get a domain name with your name, what if your kids are going to be the next Michael Jordan, LeBron James, whoever you like, okay? Why not go ahead and get their domain name now? Right? You can sit on it, build it. Anyways, I go on a tangent, but okay. So with talking about WordPress, there's a different options you can do. Now, there's WordPress.com and there's WordPress.org. Run super fast away from WordPress.com. Don't even mess with it, because it's kind of like, buy our stuff, things like that. It's not really what you want. So I'm just going to click off that. We're not even going to worry about it. Okay.
I wanted to ask you this while you're on it. Is there a huge difference between the two? I mean, what would you say the main thing is the difference between the two? Because I've heard this before, but I just would like a little clarification just because I'm ignorant to it.
Well, the thing is, and granted, everybody has their own opinion, but for me, It's like there's a lot of paid stuff behind it. So instead of just being being an open source thing in terms of a lot of developers kind of like helping each other out, you get a lot of more of the paid stuff. So, like it's, I mean, I shouldn't have clicked off it, but, you have Jetpack and you have these, they're trying to sell you packages. So it's like, hey, get WordPress, but you're also going to get this web hosting. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I think there's a lot of, sometimes they make it where you're limited on what plugins you can use. Different plans have different things, and you'll find that a few places online, if they say you have a WordPress.com website, they won't work with you. One other thing too, I'm going to just throw this out there, okay? And I'm going to touch base in a second. If you can, don't ever go with a free web hosting place for the most part, okay? Because I see so many people, they might use Wix or they might use someplace, but you're very limited on how much traffic you can have, and why limit yourself, or you might go to the route where it's like yourdomain.freewebsite.com, and you can't tell that to anybody, right? Now, granted, if you just have like a blog that's you and your grandparents talking, who cares, right? But if you're a legitimate business, paid a little bit of money, and I'm going to step into that here in just a second. So with WordPress.org, what's nice about here is you can go in, you can look at the different themes, because they have a lot of free themes, okay? These are the free themes they have. Now, a lot of times they're a light version, okay? So you'll click on, they'll say like, this might be a free one, but for, they got to make money. For $14 or $49.99, you can get the full version,
Gotcha.
Whatever. But what's nice too is you can research plugins. So you can go in, you can look at some of the most popular plugins that they have. I use Yoast all the time, Contact Form 7, a lot of these great things. And you can just research plugins, maybe. There's so many plugins. So there's 54,000 plugins right now. So basically, if you have a need, somebody's probably, solved that for you. You just got to look for it, So you have different options. If you already have web hosting, typically you already have WordPress already installed, or at least already at your fingertips kind of thing, right? And like William Rock says, he, used to use Joomla and really loved WordPress. And that's the thing, with Joomla and Drupal and some of the other things, in my opinion, which, was take it or leave it, it's one of those things where WordPress has more developers and people towards it. And so you might have those diehard people that are like, I'm going to be Joomla and Drupal for life, just like the people that still write code, via, HTML kind of thing. With WordPress, it gives you the opportunity to just, get over that learning curve. And there's so many more developers. So, things just work so much easier. But so going into instead of searching for WordPress, you're like, okay, Chris, well, I need WordPress. How do I get it? Well, most web hosting companies come with it. Okay. Now, I'm not in an affiliate. I am an affiliate of Bluehost, but the thing is, I want to show you here. Okay. Instead of going to somebody who's free, for them, for an example, if you sign up for a year, whatever it is, for $4 a month I love coffee. Like I drink coffee like it's going out of style. And it's one of those things where for less than a venti drink, I can get web hosting for an entire month, and what's nice is you get WordPress that comes with it. So the thing is if you get web hosting, a lot of web hosting companies already come with WordPress, right? So you can already have a website out of the gate. And the reason why I'm even passionate about WordPress and things like this is because as a digital marketing agency owner, I have people come to me and I hear the stories of them getting scammed. Unfortunately, SEO people are kind of, no disrespect to car salesmen, but they get that bad rap. Like you might be the best car salesman in the world. You're super friendly, super nice. Everybody loves you, do things ethically, but you got the 10 people behind you that ruined your name, And with SEO people, it's like, hey, we're going to do black hat SEO. We're going to get links from some other country. We're going to do keyword stuffing and all this bad stuff. And it's one of those things where it's not that good. And William Rock and I should be best friends because he uses the same themes that I use. He's like, we should collab because we should have like a group collab because he's speaking my mind before I even say it here. So, but anyways, if you get web hosting, typically it already comes with it. And again, I had like here a couple months ago, I had a new client that joined up with me and they got scammed by, because they say the riches in the niches kind of thing or whatever, and what happens is some companies like me, I actually truly enjoy people. So I have clients that are in the chimney business and construction business and plumbers and, all these dog people, dog trainers, and all these different things. So some people stay in one lane, right? They might just only do, plumbing SEO kind of stuff. And that's completely fine. So what happened is somebody came in doing a chimney thing. Okay. And they're like, oh, we do chimneys company stuff all around the country. They sold them a free WordPress website. Okay. So, one of the free themes, and they charged them $13,000. And a lot of people are like, dude, I wouldn't even pay $13 for a website, let alone 13,000. And that's the thing that's hard is if you don't know, you just have somebody comes in, they know what they're saying. They know how to push the right buttons. And they make money, right? And so for me, even though I might be unknown, that's the whole point of my channel and the things that I do is about teaching digital marketing to DIYers because I want you to be able to do this yourself. Again, there's nothing anybody can do that you can't do yourself. So WordPress in a nutshell basically gives you the opportunity to build your own website without having to pay somebody else. If you don't want to pay a developer, you don't need to pay them $1,500, $2,000, $5,000 for a website. Now, granted, if you're going to have the next Amazon, eBay, I get it. Okay. But if you're mom and pop shop in nowhere USA, you don't have to spend $5,000 for a website, So it's one of those things where we're going to touch base a little bit on that right now. Okay. So here I am on my fake website. It really is myfakewebsite.com. And that's what I use for my demo stuff. Okay. So I blow up this domain name all the time and, this website. And what's nice about this is, for an example, let me go back to my front page here. I'm just using a demo, okay? So this is what I recommend to people. If you're going to use WordPress and you don't have a huge budget for whatever, go ahead and just use the demo. Get a demo of something that you really like or buy a theme and save all that money. What's nice too, if you're working on your own website, if something breaks, you can typically fix it. Or what I see too sometimes, if you're working with the agency or something, they call you and they say, Chris, I need you to make this change today. Maybe I don't have the time. Of course, that's not me. I mean, I'm like, yes, guy kind of thing. But it's one of those things where maybe you're waiting 2 weeks for your developer or somebody to fix your website, right? So if you can go in and fix your stuff yourself, again, it makes you accountable, especially if you're the person that cares about your business. You don't want somebody else putting the words in your mouth anyway. So you can build your own website, your own everything, and just everything works better, okay? So this is just a blog theme. Okay. So this is just a blog and it's just, they have fake content, but what's nice about a demo is that if you use the demo content, it gives you the opportunity to go in and change whatever you see to make it the way that you want to, right? And that's what's super, super nice. So I'm going to show you something here on my own.
Real quick, basically, this is like a theme, like you're starting, it gives you a starting point, and then what you do is just add your own content with your own pictures overriding the ones that are there. Is that am I saying that right? Is that what you're saying to do?
Absolutely. And the whole thing is, some people get nervous though. They're like, well, Chris, if I choose the same theme or something as another plumbing company, we're going to have the same website. What's the odds, right? I mean, if you're if you type in, plumbing in, Denver, Colorado, for an example, where I'm at, and I look at the top 10 websites, I can tell if somebody's using the same theme as me anyways, So, but if somebody's in Florida, who cares, right? And so go ahead and spend the $50 or $60 and buy a WordPress theme if you want something that looks nice, or use a free one. I'm going to show you a free example here. William Rock already touched base on this. And it's one of those things where, there's free options and different things, and it's great. Okay. So again, and I will be completely honest, I focus so much time on my clients' websites that I don't do as much quality stuff as I know I should on my own. It's kind of like being a mechanic where like your brakes are falling apart, but you take care of your clients kind of thing. So basically on my website, it's just a basic website. I put some of my videos, this, that, and the other, no big deal. Again, I'm not trying to self-promote, but I'm just trying to show you that, like I have a resources page. So again, hey, if you're like, hey, Chris, these are my affiliates straight up. So if you're like, hey, I need a 99-cent GoDaddy name, great, web hosting, whatever. Okay. But these are just some of the things I use. Okay. So it's just a simple website, nothing crazy, but it looks, okay. And it gets the job done. A secret I want to tell you about, this is a free website. And it's not because I'm saying it's free because like I built it. It's free because it really is a free theme. Okay, so if you're in your dashboard, let me go back here just real quick. So if you're in your dashboard, okay, so you just got your new WordPress website, everything's ready, your web hosting, and you're on your dashboard here. Now everybody's dashboard might look a little different, but if you go here to like appearance, then go to themes. What happens is you have the opportunity to install themes. You can click on add new, and now this would give the opportunity to either upload a theme, or you can go through the free themes. Okay, and as William Rock already touched base on, the WP Astra theme is like the best one I think that's ever existed right now. A lot of people may argue, but it's one of those things where it has so much functionality. But one of the best things, I guess I should spell it right, is it's lightweight. Okay, so speed is obviously a huge importance, and you need a WordPress theme that's fast, right?
And mobile too, right? And mobile.
Absolutely.
Mobile compatibility is huge. I mean, that's a big deal because so many people are on mobile and iPads and everything else nowadays. So it's important to be flexible on all of that. And I think that's what helps with that, right?
Absolutely. And especially if you're taking care of your own stuff. So you're a DIYer that's doing your own Google Search Console stuff, things like that. Like I was very excited that they rolled out the outside of the beta version. So now you can see up to 16 months of your back data and things like this, analytics. I think that's a great feature, because again, there's nothing that you can't do yourself. I mean, you don't have to pay somebody $1,500 a month to do your SEO stuff. At the same token, you don't need to pay $99 to somebody who is just taking your money, So,
yeah.
But the thing is with the Astra thing, this is, and William Rock hit a great, I keep on talking his name, but I mean, obviously he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
The thing is with Astra is great. I'm going to show you something here. So, you can see here, you're like, well, this is kind of a boring website. This is not very good, but the key is if you can I don't know, let me see if I can figure out how to do this for sure. You might have to go to their website for an example. Let me do live preview possibly. You basically have the opportunity to go in and you have demo of themes. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll go to their website here. So WP or Astra theme. Nothing like live here. So Astra theme.
Oh, that's all good.
And because I want to make sure everybody sees this. Okay. So basically, if you go to this Astra theme, you can actually see some of the demos they have. Okay. And what's great about this is, and the reason why, because I already have it installed. So typically you can go and you can see their demos. But so granted, somebody might argue with me. I prefer Elementor as a page builder. And I have no idea what that is. Basically, it's just a page builder. It gives you plug and play. You can kind of work with things. There's Beaver Builder, Elementor. I like the functionality of that one. But what the ones that say agency means you have to pay for those, okay? But the ones that don't have it means it's free. And what's nice is the ones that are free, they actually have a lot of great ones. And what's really nice is, you can, when you look at a theme, don't look at it as whatever, okay? So here's one for an example. Here's a barber. So say you're a barber or a salon person. This could be a great website, right? And you could just fill in the blank. So when you look at it, it's like looking at an old car or something. You're like, somebody else might see a rust bucket, but you see that, that next, super
vintage.
hot rod. Yeah.
Yeah, the vintage.
So, absolutely. So, when you're going through these themes, you can say, well, man, I could really do something with this and I can make this work. Again, it's free. Okay. So if you already have it, it's good. Another one, of course they have a lot of great ones, but let me look at another one here. And I won't beat this one to death, but it's fast. I won't kid you. It's extremely fast and that's what you need. You need fast for tablets and everything. And it's very important. But let me find one here that's a really good one here. If you're in the car repair, here's another great one. Okay. Here's pet services. There's residential and commercial cleaning. Again, these are free. Okay. Here's a landscaping one. Okay. So let me click. I'll show you this real quick. Okay. So this is a landscaping website. And it's one of those things where, again, swap out your phone number.
I'm going to show my ignorance again. These are free themes for WordPress. Is that what you're saying?
So basically what happens is once you download the theme, these are demo content that you would install inside of it. Okay.
I got you.
So basically, you would download the theme, and this one actually has a plugin that goes with it that gives you the sites. But basically you would upload this and this would be your website. Okay. And then you would go in and you would change your phone number. You can change the picture. You can change these things. And again, so if you don't want some of this stuff, you can get rid of it, no big deal. But if it's something where you're like, man, I'm into, I have a landscaping business or I have something, this is absolutely wonderful. This is what I can use. But one thing, I'll show you one last one, and then I'll get off this topic here is I'm going to show you here how this can, just go into it with an open mind and how it can help you here. Probably that's like some dead air, but let me find this.
No, I like that though. And William Rock says out there, he says the other thing to consider is image optimization as well. He says, see if you can reduce the file size on each page.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's really important too, to use it. I find it's good to use the images like closest to the size that you're going to be using. So if it's calling for a 300 by 300 pixel image, use a 300 by 300 image pixel, picture. If you're trying to take, a 1920 by 1080 picture and trying to make it, 200 by 200, it has to do these, additional requests, or it makes it all weird. But here's one, for example. Here's a lawyer website. Okay. And again, here's a lady, and this is whatever. Now you might say, hey, this kind of looks kind of familiar because it's my website. So the thing is I took a lawyer's website, not that I'm cool or anything, but I put the keyboard behind it. I put a picture of me. I, just spiced it up a little bit, and that's the exact same website. Okay. So I just, if you go into it with an open mind and say, I really just like the feel of this. I changed my logo. I changed my phone number. I do this stuff. And again, it makes it where you can just build your own website. Now, granted, if you say, Chris, I don't like the free options, right? Maybe you want to make sure if you pay, because there is a sense, if you pay for a website, then you have the option to go ahead and you have a little bit better support if you're paying for an option. Okay. Now there's two main websites I use. One of them is ThemeForest. On ThemeForest, you can go in, you can look under WordPress websites. You can look at some of the most popular ones, but you can search, right? You can go in and you could type in, oops, lost my page here. Where did I go? My website don't like me now. 1 second here. Let me see where we go. We have a little bit of technical difficulties. I'll get this figured out here.
It's all good. And Andrew says speed becomes very important in July as it will be a factor in Google rankings. There you go. So many things. I like Ross says, so many things it's taking for me forever to choose what I want. And Miss Sheila says, I understand that, Ross, completely. So
absolutely. Okay, so we're back on here. Okay, had a little bit of glitch here.
That's all right.
Okay, so on ThemeForest, for an example, everybody got to see my cat though. So, but on ThemeForest here, you can type in, your company, what kind of company you have, and you can buy them. Usually the most expensive themes, usually about $60, a little bit less expensive, like $39. But again, they come with support and it works a little better. Another great theme place is My Theme Shop. What's different about them is they're more plugins and they're more of, they do the, blog stuff better. Okay. So you can go in, you can look at their stuff. And so say you're a developer. Okay. You can go in here and I think it's like, I don't know what it is. They have a package, like say $200. You can get every single plugin they have and stuff like that. And so, what's nice is if you want to go in, like on my theme demo here, I use this one. And so that was the one that was on here. Is I have this one. And what's nice is you just go in and you can just find a theme that you like. Maybe you're a mom blogger or a dad blogger or a family blogger or something. This is a great place to find a theme that works great for you. So again, all I did, here's the original theme. And all I did was upload the demo content, and here you go. I mean, it's just, so basically it makes it where you can easily go in and save the money. So instead of paying somebody else to take care of the stuff for you, you can just do it yourself. So very simple to get started with that. Now, I'm going to move into a couple other things here real quick.
Sure.
A couple of plugins. I want to talk about a couple of plugins that I really like that really helps people. And most people are going to already know these. One of them, of course, is going to be Yoast. Now, Yoast is, I believe, is the #1 SEO plugin for sure. And what's nice about this is, all you have to do is go to plugins and go to add new, and then you could search for Yoast up here. Okay, so you just type in like YOAST, toast with a Y, and basically, you can install this, and you can learn about it. You can see what options it has and things like that. But you can also go in and just, anytime you install plugins, you can look at, see other things that they got going on. But what's nice is when you're working on a page, for an example, okay? So when you have a page, like here's an about page, is a fake page here. Sometimes what happens is the title tag, if you don't have a plugin like, Yoast or something working, you'll have something, for an example, that'll say, like, if you put about us or whatever here, it'll make your title tag also say the same thing. With Yoast, I can come in here and I can override it. Okay, so I can, instead of putting about us, I might talk about, about, I always have this happen all the time. If anybody knows how to fix an all snap error, I would love to know that. Okay, so when you say, instead of about us, you might be like, about Chris or about whatever. And then when you go to save it, now what happens is when I go back, nothing changed here. I mean, I still have my page name here. So when I'm looking at all my pages, I know, oh, this is my about page or whatever. So now when I go back to my page here, when I hover over my title tag, I can see it says about Chris. And this is just a little thing to help you. So that way, when you're doing your SEO for your website, it's a great tool to use, so you can override whatever settings might come with your theme, because every theme's a little bit different. Another plugin I'm going to talk about is Pretty Links. Now, Pretty Links is a great thing if you're using affiliate links and stuff like that. So basically, the same thing, you would go to plugins, add new, type in Pretty Links. But once you have it installed, what it does, it gives you an option to be able to kind of cloak some of your information. So if you had a link, you would just click on Add Pretty Link. You could put in whatever, the target URL is. So instead of having like a 30 string thing of which you can't tell somebody, you can just put in, say it was myfakewebsite.com/ maybe it was training. And this would take somebody to a course. So if I'm on a podcast or something, if I say, hey, go to myfakewebsite.com/training to get your free 5-day whatever, it gives you a way to kind of cloak some of your, longer affiliates, but not be a big burden. And the last thing I'm going to show you about in plugins is the my reset button, basically. Okay. So what happens, like we talked about doing the demos. Okay. So you install a demo again, which is very simple. For an example, if you're using the Astra theme, if you went to plugins, it asks you to add in, actually, let me go to my other website. It would ask you to put in a plugin called Astra Starter Sites. Okay. And you can see the library, and what it would do is it would give you the option to go through your stuff. You could pick the theme that you want. And it would, so if I were to click on this one, it would say, I can install this now. And it's going to basically take this new website and put it over my other one. But sometimes it gets, it gets all weird with different things that don't delete or different things. You're like, I just got to start over. Right. So if you go to, plugins and you look for Reset WP. Okay, so Reset WP will install, and basically it goes underneath your tools. And so it's right here. And basically what you would do is you're going to reset your website, right? So if I type in reset nothing like spelling incorrectly live. So I click reset, say, hey, do you want to reset your website? Absolutely. I just trashed my whole website. Okay. But this is what I do. This is why I have myfakewebsite.com, so I could trash it. Now, if I go back to it, I have the 2017 demo WordPress theme. I'm starting from scratch. So if you start plugging in stuff and you're like, oh man, I just blew everything up, use this with caution. I mean, if you have a lot of content, you don't want to just, nuke your website,
Yeah.
But that's definitely something that, can definitely help you. So one of the questions that was brought up was about comments. and, maybe how to get notifications and things like that. I think a lot of it, really kind of comes down to, with the comments is what you're using for an example. Okay. So if you're using, I'm really bad. I don't use comments on anything. I turn comments off of every possible thing that I can. And a lot of times I'll build pages instead of posts, because I want the SEO juice kind of thing. And that's just my own case studies and things like that. But when I have like comments turned on, yeah, it's cool for like YouTube and Facebook and things like that. But when it comes to my websites, for one, I get a bunch of spam. So I got to always be, focusing on spam and things like that. But when it comes to actual engaging with people, if I get their keywords on my pages, I don't want to, dilute what I'm trying to rank for. So sometimes if I have a lot of comments, it might get kind of weird. But that, again, that's just me. Some people might argue that you need the comments to have engagement. So it goes both ways. But to kind of answer the questions in terms of, should you have, how do you get notifications? Again, a lot of it's going to be right underneath here in your comments. Okay. So if you have your comments turned on, you'll be able to see, and then you can do spam and whatever. And if you're not getting notifications, it could be that underneath your settings, that you don't have your email address set up possibly to get that information. Maybe it's going to your admin person, maybe it's going to something else, or it could even be going to your spam folder. So it's always good to kind of make sure you have those things, taken care of. And it could even work, even if you have, a message box. It don't matter what you use. It seems like there's always people that are going to find some way to spam you. I always actually like it when I have SEO people contact me. They're like, hey, I can improve your website. I'm like, great, I already have, so it always works good with that. So let me
real quick.
Sure
I know,
yes, sir.
Loanne asked why turn off comments. I think you kind of explained to that and touched on that.
Yeah, I understand the whole thing is you want to be social. If somebody comes to your website, you want to engage them. But for me, I guess, you get tired of so much of the spam and
Right.
you get people that are like, hey, great article. And that's fine. There's actually plugins you can use. Like you can actually use, I don't know if there's a couple plugins that you can use that actually filters it pretty good. But then people have to actually sign up to like be a member, of this like plugin kind of thing or community where they know you're not spam, and then, you can do whatever. But for me, it seems like it's just so much headache,
Yeah.
I'd rather focus on, the content and building content.
Well, I find that you spend more time just working out spam and filtering and doing all this kind of stuff versus actually giving content and working with the content of people that really want your help and stuff. Like
Absolutely.
Ross,
And if anybody's ever run like a YouTube channel or Facebook or anything, you're going to come across to me like, hey, buy 1,000 likes today kind of thing. And you're like, or buy Michael Jordan shoes. And you're like, dude, I'm talking about, making bacon and eggs. And you're talking, because it's just spam and it just turns into weird stuff. And granted, you can do it. One of the comments earlier was talking about Securi and WordFence and a few things. You can use a few plugins and services to try to like protect your website from, hackers or comment spam and different things. So there's definitely some stuff that you can do, but for the average, mom and pop kind of shop or person who is building a website for their business or something, it's really one of those things where, you want to make sure your website's live, right? You want to get leads, you want to get leads to your website. You want to, you don't have time to sit there and, dissect all the stuff. Now, granted, that's why, to me, I believe that's why Facebook and other things are great. But again, everybody does their own thing. It's just, I just don't like the spam. I don't like the spam stuff. And so it's definitely kind of a little crazy. So I just have two last things to kind of touch base on. One thing, and Michael touched base on this a little bit ago, is talking about mobile userness and friendliness and things like that. Now, this is a little trick that I use, and people might have their own stuff that they use. But if you have Chrome, okay, so if you have Chrome on your computer and you have a website, okay, if you go up to the corner where the three little dots are, and you go down to more tools, and then you see developer tools, click on this. And up here, you can put like the different sources and stuff. And I have it set to now I can test websites for their mobile use, if they're friendly or not, okay? So I can go up here and I can pick an iPhone 8. So this is what my website will look like on an iPhone 8. I can go to, Galaxies. I can go iPhone 7s, iPhone X, iPads, and I can see, what my website's going to look like. So if you get a domain name and you're like, hey, man, something's not working out right or something, you can actually go and test the stuff yourself. And that way, because again, if you're doing your own SEO stuff, you already know how many people are using your website on mobile or tablet. or on desktop computers, And if you're doing your own web hosting, it is absolutely nuts, the stuff that you can keep track of. Everything from operating systems to, time spent on site, so many different things. There's a lot of different stuff. It's definitely, something to take care of. And one last thing, this is like my number one huge tip for you. If you're using WordPress, okay, and this is what happens. Last week we were talking when the show was coming on, somebody was talking about plugin compatibility and things like this. Of course they try to, not every theme's going to play nice with each other. So they're like, oh, what are we going to do? So this is a great thing. If you upload a plugin and your website breaks, okay, this happens. It does. Okay. Or you upload a theme and it won't install and you're like, what do I do? Okay. I just paid $50 for this theme. Chris told me to go out and buy this theme. I just bought it and now I can't upload it. Okay. Use FTP. Okay. So I use FileZilla. Now everybody has their own, whatever they use. Okay. But basically it just gives you the opportunity to upload files. Okay. So if you had a WordPress theme, for an example, perfect example, I nuked my whole website, right? So if I'll back up here a little bit. Okay. So logging in, I would go to my public _HTML folder. And this is where my WordPress is installed at. Yours might be a little different based on if it's a blog or if your whole website is WordPress. But if you go to your, includes folder, which is not the right folder. If you go to let's try the content folder. Okay, content, there you go. So if you go to your content folder, you can see like you have themes and different, themes and plugins are the two most common resources you're probably going to, get here. If you go to your themes folder, for an example, I nuked my website. Okay. So I restarted it, but it leaves it here. Okay. But if I have a new upload or update, I can simply take it from my computer and upload it. Okay. But what I want to show you is if something breaks, okay, you're like, Chris, I installed a plugin, it braked. Just go into your plugin and delete it. Okay. So I'm going to go to my reset WP one here, and I'm simply going to click delete. Do I want to delete it? Yes. So if you install a plugin that won't let you access your website, you can't get into your website, you can't do anything, just simply go through FTP and delete it. Now you don't see it here. Okay. So we're going to go back to my website. I'm going to log back in. I'm going to go to my plugins. And now you'll see here that it's no longer here because I deleted it. Okay. It's even telling me that it does not exist. Okay. And so now if my website was broken, I would be able to re-access my website. So those are just a few things. Granted, I could talk for a zillion years. I know that everybody has better and busier lives than to listen to me talk. So I want to give you the big special giveaway thing. Okay. So I'm so thankful to Michael and everybody watching this. I really do appreciate it. And I've already gained 4 more subscribers. Thank you from my heart. Truly. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is you see right here, I created a video that I actually put it on Udemy and stuff. It's free, and not trying to make money from it. It's how to build a website in 2018, for beginners. This is basically some of the stuff I just showed you here, but in just a longer form, and it shows you how to do this. So what I want to do is, we'll say 2 weeks from now. So we got 2 weeks from today. This is the thing. I'm going to give somebody a website. I'm going to build you a website, or I'm going to give you a 2-hour consultation. If you already have a website and you just want me to help you improve a website. Okay. So again, this is my potato salad. I'm bringing my potato salad to the party. So I hope somebody eats it. So this is the thing. So what I need you to do, if you would, it'd be a blessing. Okay. If you go to my channel, you subscribe. If you go to my video here, okay, I'll mute it here. If you go in and just leave a comment and say, hey, Chris, I saw you over on, Michael's show. Mm-hmm. Please enter me into your contest. In 2 weeks, I'll pick one of the people by random that says, hey, I saw you on Michael's show. So even if you're watching this in replay, this still counts. Today is the 21st.
21st.
So we got two. Okay, so we got two weeks. Whoever, maybe somebody in the chat will know what's 2 weeks from now, and I'll pick somebody. Okay, and the thing is too, maybe you just have a small question and you're like, hey Chris, will you answer this for me? Absolutely. You even have my phone number. It's on most porta potties too, but it's one of those things where feel free. You can call me. That's the thing. Is I want to give value just like Michael. Okay. Mm-hmm. So again, to recap, if you go over to my channel, hit subscribe, go to this video that is how to build a website in 2018. Just leave a comment. Say, hey, I found you on Michael's channel. I would like to be entered. Maybe this is my idea. And this is what I'm talking about. Okay. If you don't have a website right now, I'm going to help you. We're going to look for a domain name. I'm going to pay for your web hosting for an entire year. Okay. So we're going to get web hosting for an entire year. We're going to get your domain name. We're going to build you a website, again, using the tools that we looked at. Okay. So we're going to look for a theme, something that's going to help you. And we're going to build you a website. And by the time we're done, when I walk away, you should be able to take it over yourself And hey, maybe for the next year, you need some help, no problem. Or again, if you say, Chris, I already have a website. Hey, I appreciate it, but I really just need you to help me grow my existing website because I'm one of the people that paid $4,000 for my website. I just can't, can it. That's my promise to you. So that's my giveaway. And again, if you stick around for the after show, we're going to do website evaluation. So if you want to come on and say, hey, Chris, this is my website, take a look at it. I definitely would love to help you out.
Wow. Awesome stuff. And you did really well with time too, because I'm going to tell you what, that was great. That was fantastic. I really, really do appreciate you, Chris. Hey, I'm going to kick off to the next segments. The next segments is Tech in the News. Okay, we'll get right into Tech in the News. I know everybody's excited. Those of you that are members of the community are excited to get in with Chris. And Chris, I really do appreciate it. We're going to do some quick Tech in the News so I can show you exactly some things that I saw. And let me switch over to that right now. Let me try and get there if I can find the right place. Yeah, here we go. Okay. And all right. So this is crazy stuff. Microsoft wants to force Windows 10 mail users to use Edge for email links. That is just crazy to me. So they're forcing users, or they want to force users to use Edge. I thought this was a free world. Never mind. Anyway, that's just my opinion on that one. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a Google geek. So Google Lens in Assistant can now select text. Here's how to do it. So this is a really cool article. Again, these articles should be in either the description or in the community for sure. I give the community these things ahead of time. But it's really cool that it picks up text, even handwritten text. I think that's kind of cool. Really neat stuff that is coming out there. And the last one I have for this week is 10 stupidly simple things I wish Google Home would do. Anybody that has a Google Home, anybody knows me, knows I have a Google Home and I love the thing. I use it religiously. Oh my gosh, I love it. And it's just, I'm telling you, 10 stupid things. And the first thing that brings up, this is so true for me, send messages, because I've just become a text message kind of guy lately. And this is so cool if it would be able to do that. So that it's really, the guy really wrote some really interesting stuff and really good stuff. I'd be curious in the comments tonight if you guys, after you read this article, come back and leave a comment in here so I can kind of see what your thoughts are on that and that kind of thing. So looking forward to, and we need to do a sneak peek real quick in next week. So let's jump into that. And here we go. There they go. It figures, no audio. I knew I'd do it at one point. See, I did say that too, Chris, didn't I? Anyway, next week, sneak peek, and next week is Chris Rock. Chris Rock is on with us next week, and Chris is going to talk local guides with us. So looking forward to that. I know a lot of people, a lot of times we're using Google Maps and stuff, and I'm not muted now. I know I'm not. Okay, I know you're a little bit of delay, but you're going to find out. There you go. Closed captions. There you go. Thank you, Bill. Thanks for adding your comments there. See, they knew that I couldn't get through 1 week without having this issue. So there you go. It always happens. So, but next week, William, I look forward to having you. And I know Chris is appreciative too of your help tonight and re-emphasizing, the things so that he talked about. So, all right. So I'm going to kick this off and get the closing credits going. Chris, I wanted to just say one more time, we are on together right now. Thank you so much for coming. I think you did a fantastic job.
Thank you. I appreciate being a guest, and hopefully, everybody will like it and they'll get some questions. We can make this a routine thing every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry, not Chris Rock, William Rock. I just, my brain went fried. I'm telling you, once I lost the sound, you can tell I just kind of go frazzled there. So, but you'll go by either one, right, William? I know you will. Anyway, thank you so much, Chris, and get ready for some fun with the group that's coming in later with us.
Absolutely.
Thanks, folks.